Cricket time on the SportsMax Zone now. The West Indies return to competitive action on Thursday when they take on South Africa in the first of two tests at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium in St. Lucia. The Windies enter the series ranked number 6 in the ICC ratings, their best position since 2013. Meanwhile, South Africa have won just 2 of their last 7 test series and are 7th in the ICC table, their lowest ever ranking. Rookie captain Dean Elgar says his team, well, they've prepared well for this Caribbean assignment.
We are aware of obviously our failures that we've had in the past. The one thing we can control is our preparation. I think that's a key fundamental to try and give you success, especially in this format. So we've prepared very well, and I mean with preparation, there's no guarantee with the outcome or success. So yeah, don't worry. Telford, be very aware of what's happened in the past, and obviously we're trying to rectify that. Bearing in mind we've lost quite a lot of experienced batters in the past. That obviously we know that that was a massive figure within our batting line. But it's not time for guys to put their hands up. I mean, the opportunities are there for guys now, and it's not harsh or anything, but I mean that's the reality of it. There's a lot of opportunities knocking, and we've got a lot of young, good batters coming through the ranks. I mean, all I can ask for is time, but I know time's very limited, especially when you're only playing two or three match test match series, which is quite tough to give the guys time.
The South Africa captain Dean Elgar there. The West Indies skipper Craig Brathwaite says his team must get the details right.
For us, it's a continuation of the good things we started from January in Bangladesh, and for me it's quite simple. We just got to keep the same attitude we had and discipline, and I think results will take care of itself once we do the small things right. As a team, once we keep the attitude, as bowlers we stick into the plan. As batters, pretty much the same thing. For me, it's a whole team effort, and for us, we just want to keep that standard, pretty high.
Yeah, West Indies captain Craig Brathwaite there now to join us to preview this first test. The cricket veteran commentator Joseph Reds Perreira. Before Reds, I asked you about the pitch at the Darren Sammy Stadium, which I'm sure you visited earlier on today. I want to mark the 50 years that you've been involved in radio commentary. I suspect you will be on tomorrow. And 1971, West Indies against India, your first assignment as a cricket commentator. And 50 years on, you're still ready to go.
Yes, you've got to be ready. I mean, if you love this game and you have the passion and you follow it and you never lose the passion, you can never lose the feeling. And 71 is a very long time ago. And I have to thank a lot of people, the Caribbean Broadcasting Union, stations like JBC and RGR, and all the other stations in the Caribbean. And I'm very, very lucky to have had this journey, this experience, Lance.
Yeah. All right, Reds, the pitch at the Darren Sammy Stadium, I guess it will sort of inform the both captains and both the coaching staff as to what teams they will actually put out. What is your assessment looking at the pitch? I know Ken Crafton has done a lot of work there, and he is promising good returns for the fast bowlers, if only early in the game.
Well, I did the 4-day, the best versus the rest, and Lance, all the 4 days, that pitch kept helping the fast bowlers. The carry to the keeper, the Silva and Hamilton, was just about chest high, each and every ball. Very few balls kept low. And I believe that would be the same pattern. You are right. I did go down there and spent an hour and a half. Of course, with the bubble, you got to be limited to where you can go. So I managed to make my way to a safe place where you're not in the bubble. And just looking, Ken Crafton, who was out there is that tinge of green. Now, I do not believe he's going to take that off. So I think we'll have the same conditions that we have had for the last couple of years here since it's been relayed. And I expect that it's going to be a good track to bat on. The ball is going to come on. People who can handle the quick stuff will be able to play their shots. and I think the fast bowlers will get their own rub of the green.
Yeah, I saw the Starbook newspaper report this morning, Reds, with your take on what the 11 will be, and you're suggesting that Kyron Powell and Rakeem Cornwall with the 2 players out. I know newspaper, press time would be the night before, so that would have been a view that you had expressed 24 hours ago. Is that still the same?
Well, Lance, you got to keep your ears to the ground. I mean, what you say, you say it honestly. That's your call. You can't be a fifth columnist in this world. I saw the 4-day game, which was the first opportunity for them to practice and work out since Sri Lanka. There's no 4-day cricket. And from what I saw, I thought that my 11 was possibly the best 11. I mean, the innings that Chase played, I call it almost a test type innings, the kind of innings that, Joe Solomon, Sacha Mackay, Trevor Bailey, that Ken Barrington would have played. Battled for over an hour against the Quicks, and then slowly but surely started to get on top, didn't give his hands away, didn't get frustrated. And that's why I felt at the time when I wrote that piece for the Starbook News that, he really should be in. But listening to interviews by Phil Simmons, seeing what Cricinfo is saying, Lance, you get the impression that, people don't want Hope to open. They want him to play, but prefer him to bat at number 3. There is some suggestion in the corners that maybe they might leave out Bonner, open with Powell. Bonner has served the West Indies an average of 44, but didn't look good against the Quicks in the last 4 days. What are they going to do? Now, if you look at the question of Joseph is worrying. Joseph has had a pretty poor run of late. You go back to when we beat England in the Caribbean, Joseph was bowling 40 plus, 140 plus. He had a very, very disappointing run with Worcester, but Worcester is not the best track for any young fast bowler to go. Are they going to leave out, are they going to leave out Joseph and on that basis, or are they going to give him a fair go to give him an opportunity? A number of factors can play.
Yeah.
Phil Simmons wants Holder to bat at number 6. He says he's the best technical batsman that the West Indies got. So we just have to wait and see, Lance. I expect maybe a few surprises.
Definitely. And how do you see us faring in this tournament against South Africa that's actually ranked below us?
Well, the ranking doesn't matter anymore. It's a 5-day game. You've got to come good on the day, Maria. This is the 8th test match being played here. It's the first being played by South Africa. They did have a 1-day game here, but I think they are stronger in bowling than in batting. And maybe it's possibly the reverse for us here, because, had Gabriel been anywhere near fit, had Shamar Holder, who bowled brilliantly on the first day, it didn't come down with an injury which we haven't heard about, I would have said that the West Indies bowling would have been strong. But I've been very impressed with Seals. It's not very often that a guy with one first-class game when you played in New Zealand gets a test match. But sometimes, you're thrown in at the deep end, and he seemed to have the character. He is a strong young man. He has a lovely approach. He bowls very quick. He's very good in the field. And I would think it would be a fairly even contest. But I think we can find that South Africa would be stronger than Sri Lanka. They're going to play their quicks, and they're going to play Mirage, the left-arm spinner.
Reds, as usual, always great talking to you, and we'll be in touch, and all the best for tomorrow's coverage on radio in your 50 years of cricket commentary. Thanks, Reds.
Thank you very much, Lance, George, and Mariah.
Yeah, George, if you read between the lines, Reds was saying that he has a certain trend of thought regarding the team that should play. He did suggest initially that Powell and Rakeem would be the two players left out, but Reds has his ears to the ground. He knows what is happening, and he has suggested that there could be some surprises, shocking narrative that Bonner could be left out.
And that won't go down well with fans of Bonner, especially when they'll say to you that, okay, if indeed Bonner gets dropped, we're just speculating here, they'll hold up a sheet of Shai Hope's career and say, well, Shai Hope has passed 25 in Test cricket on 2 occasions in his last 14 innings. In 64 innings overall, Shai Hope has passed 50 about 5 times in all, including the 2 centuries that he had at Headingley. Yeah. So if in the last 14 innings you've passed 25 twice, and none of those times did you go on to make 50, right, on what basis do you replace a man who's been in red hot form for the Windies in the last 2 series? That's what they'll say, yeah, if that happens.
Yeah, well, you said the right thing, George, if that happens, because at the moment it's just speculation. But as I said, Reds usually hears good things, and if he says so, maybe it is a consideration. But I guess in the morning we'll know exactly what the 11 will be, and then we'll see if they are in fact the surprises that Reds is suggesting could be on offer for this Test match, as the West Indies get ready to battle the touring South Africans in St. Lucia.